Hello students, I am Dr. Shrikant Bavse, Assistant Professor at Department of Advanced Management Studies, GS College of Commerce, Wardha. Today, in this video, we are going to study one of the most crucial, important aspect of risk diversification. When we are constructing a portfolio, that portfolio is a basket of securities. As we all know that if we will put all the eggs in a single basket, if that basket gets jerked, all the eggs will completely get broken. On the other hand, if we will keep our eggs in different baskets with different numbers, if one gets broke, other will remain as it is. So this is the simple funda of risk diversification. Now, in this video, we are going to study that what is the significance of risk diversification, how it can be done, and what are the advantages and also disadvantages of risk diversification. Remember, if you want to become a successful investor, if you want to generate ample wealth, if you want to be wealthy, at that time you have to keep this mind that the power of diversification has a great impact on your portfolio in the long term. Now, why diversification? Diversification is needed for managing the risk. Now, how this risk arises? This risk arises due to first geopolitical tensions. Right now, from last 3 to 4 months, we are witnessing a great controversy on the basis of line of actual control between India and China. So, if any country attacks any other country, now we are into the globalized world, it may lead to free fall into the stocks. This is a systematic risk and all the economy will get affected. So these geopolitical tensions are not only with respect to India and China, they may be also with the another countries. Like we have seen last year the tensions between the US and Iran. In the last year also we have seen the tensions between the China and America. So geopolitical tensions like wars between the countries always expose you to the great risk. When you are exposed to risk, your portfolio is also exposed to risk. So here you need a kind of conservative approach for constructing your portfolio. Next one is the trade war. The trade war between US and China is very well known for you. In last couple of years, we have seen the two big economies, US and China, fighting with each other for capturing the global markets. So, when the trade war arises, it also leads to instability into the global markets. This year, we are seeing the trade war between the India and China. India banning the apps of China. India is disallowing many operations of China in India. So these are the kind of trade wars which create multiple tensions in the economy. Next one is the political uncertainty. As we are approaching towards the US elections in the coming month, you have seen that the volatility index in the last couple of months is rising very exponentially. Why? Because being the world power, US president elections plays a key role. No one knows that who will win the elections. So this is the political uncertainty. In India also we have witnessed in the last two elections that the NDA came up with the thumping majority, which is a great sign for any economy because the government of collusion is not good for any economy. Repeated elections and political uncertainty leads to damage to the economy. When we are talking about the political uncertainty, the political parties which are in favor of business always liked by the markets, whereas the parties which are not pro business are not liked by the markets, because it directly impacts the policies, then the schemes and rules and regulations of the businesses. Then last but not the least, we are talking about the pandemic. It is must included now in the month of March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We have seen the lockdown in various parts of the country. In the India, we have seen March, April, May, June as a complete nationwide lockdown. So whenever there is a pandemic, at that time it leads to huge impact, worst impact on the economy, because people put their health first and wealth afterwards. When there will be a nationwide lockdown, when there will be a pandemic like COVID-19, it leads to damage to your portfolio. So you need a diversified portfolio for managing all these kinds of tensions, stresses and the risk and uncertainties. Now how all these things can be balanced? Imagine that you are going into the phase of geopolitical tensions and you are having exposure in the defense related stocks. Naturally, when there will be war, the defense related stocks will go up, so your portfolio will be having some cushion. When we are talking trade wars, the companies which are benefited because of restricting the imports from foreign nations will get benefited. If you are in exposure in that stock, your stock will rise. When there is a political uncertainty, if the verdict comes in favor of your stocks, that may lead to huge profits. Then when we are talking about the pandemic, the pharmaceutical stocks, FMCG stocks, healthcare stocks will outperform. As we have seen in the last 6 months, the pharma stocks, the healthcare stocks have risen more than double. So you need a diversified portfolio for balancing these kinds of risk. Now, how the diversification helps? Different assets perform differently in same market conditions. Take a great example of equities versus gold. Equities witnessed free fall in the month of March, April, May, whereas the gold got completely doubled within a span of only 1.5 years. The phase is same, whereas two different assets, one is declining exponentially and one is rising exponentially. So here it proves that different assets perform differently in same market conditions. Today the realty market is worstly affected because of pandemic, whereas the commodities market is rising because high demand. Next one is the carefully blending of assets. When you are having a sum of money for investing, you should invest in different asset classes. You should have exposure in equities, in mutual funds, in insurance, in real estate, in gold and precious metals. So when one asset class will not perform, another asset classes will be outperform. So this is the careful blending of asset classes. Now we will see further that how you can create your portfolio deeply, you should have a strong balanced portfolio. Suppose you are having 100% exposure in equities, and if there is a war between India and China, your complete equity portfolio will become half. It may happen. But if you are having exposure in equities as well as in gold, in real estate, your portfolio will be having a balanced approach. Then asset allocation. What is meant by asset allocation? Imagine you are having 1 lakh rupees with you. You have to invest that in different asset classes. If you are investing 25% in equity, 25% in gold, 25% in real estate, and 25% in mutual funds. So you have allocated equally to 4 asset classes. So this is called as the asset allocation. Now how asset allocation is done? That completely depends on your risk appetite and your time horizon. Financial goals. Suppose you are young, you are bachelor. At that time, your financial liability will be very less, whereas your goals will be to buy a flat or to construct a bungalow. After that, you will have to make sure that your family's health cover as well as insurance. Then the long term investments for your future. After that, if you will get married, you will have to take care of your better half as well as your progeny, their education, their marriages. For that, you need a long term approach in construction of your portfolio. So at different age, you will have to construct a different portfolio with respect to your risk appetite and long term horizon. Suppose you want to go on a foreign trip after say 5 years, so you will have to allocate some money for that purpose, which will help you in achieving that goal. So your portfolio will be completely subject to your financial goals. The next one is the return objective. How much return you are expecting? Remember a simple funda of high risk, high return, low risk, low return, medium risk, medium return. So when you want high return, you should go into the equities. You can also prefer for future and options. But when your expectation is quite okay, at that time you can invest into the mutual funds. If your expectation are extremely okay, at that time you can have exposure in debt. So your return objective also matters while constructing the portfolio. Then capital preservation versus wealth generation. The very conservative approach of middle class public is capital preservation because they used to save the money. Whereas the best approach of upper middle class and rich and affluent people is the wealth generation. They do not save but they invest. So this is the difference between saving and investment. When a person wants to generate a wealth, he used to invest into stocks, mutual funds, precious metals, real estate, etc. When a person wants a capital preservation, he used to invest in PPF, in recurring deposits, in simple insurance. Then the risk appetite. Your risk appetite depends on your age and your family background. If you are completely stable and with a affluent family background, and if you are bachelor, your risk appetite will be extremely high. Whereas if you are belonging to middle class family and if you are bachelor, at that time your risk appetite will be quite okay. When you approach towards your retirement, though you are having huge lump sum of amount with you, but your risk appetite will be very low, because after retirement your earning capacity will become zero. Next one is the investment horizon. Keep this in mind. All the biggest enterprises in the world have become wealthy and rich only because of long term approach. When your investment horizon is long term, at that time you give a kind of time for growing a tree. If you are sowing a seed today, it will take years to become a big tree. So your investment horizon should be long term, because when a tree grows, it gives you shadow, it gives you fruits, it gives you flowers and fragrance. So investment horizon should be long term. Then different sectoral allocation. If you are investing into stocks, you should not invest in a single sector. Avoid sectoral investment. You should have equal distribution in different sectors. Like in conservative sectors, we will talk about the pharma, FMCG, IT, which are not rate sensitives. In the aggressive sectors, we can invest into automobiles, then metals, banking, NBFCs, etc. You should have a perfect blend of conservative and aggressive portfolio stocks. Then there are two types of stocks we have seen, that is interest rate sensitives, which are sensitive to the interest rate. If there is a monetary policy, you will find a great volatility in banking stocks and non-banking stocks and financial services stocks. Whereas non-interest sensitives like FMCG, pharma do not get affected by the interest rates. If you are investing into FMCG company like Hindustan Unilever, it do not have to do anything with the rise or decline in the interest rates by the RBI. So these are called as the non-interest rate sensitive stocks. Then we are having a different instruments like equities means shares, bonds which are debt, commodities like precious metals, gold, silver, then mutual funds. In mutual funds also you will get different types of schemes which will be equity oriented, debt oriented, balanced fund. So you should have a balanced approach for construction of your portfolio. Next one is the investment in foreign portfolios is one of the most effective way for taking the benefit of huge development into the foreign market. I am just quoting a simple example. You will get amazed by listening to this. If you are owning the stocks of Apple, Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, Microsoft, all these are the Google, all these are the companies which are enjoying the monopoly in the market from last 10 to 25 years. These stocks are rising exponentially like anything. But when you are in India, it is quite difficult for you earlier to invest directly into these stocks. But today, you can invest in these stocks through the foreign portfolio mutual funds, which are offered by the different mutual fund companies. Then, if there is a risk in India, that risk will be balanced by your foreign mutual fund. Then it reduces the portfolio risk. It also hedges against the market volatility. If there is an election in India, there will not be election in US necessary. So this risk will be balanced by your foreign portfolio. These portfolios offers higher returns in long term. When you are thinking about creating a portfolio, remember you have to invest, you have to exposure in real estate also. Buy plots which are at the prime location. Their prices will appreciate very smartly. Then you can also buy the agricultural land which will give you great returns. You can also buy a flat but only in metro cities, only in the prime locations. Then if you will buy a commercial property in big cities, at that time remember you will be able to earn rental income as well as its prices will also rise very fastly. Remember, the power of diversification, last but not the least, gives you the peace of mind which leads to happiness in your personal as well as professional life. Thank you.